Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to map out the entire journey of an entrepreneur. We're talking from that very first spark of an idea all the way to building a thriving global company. We'll break it all down into 4 key stages that every single founder has to go through, giving you the core concepts you need to build a business from scratch. You know, it always starts with just one idea. But turning that idea into a real success story, that's not magic. It's actually a process. A series of stages that are pretty predictable, and each one comes with its own set of challenges. So let's walk through them, step by step. All right, let's dive right into the first huge step, making that very first sale. I mean, you've created a product or service, but what's it actually worth? This is honestly one of the most critical decisions any new business is going to make. Okay, before you even start crunching numbers on your costs, you have to understand value. Price isn't just some number you pull out of thin air. It's all about what a customer is willing to pay to solve a problem they have. It's about their perception. If you can get this right, you've already found the heart of a winning pricing strategy. Now, let's talk about demand, because this is really interesting. For some things, like the newest electronics, if the price goes up, demand can totally plummet. We call that elastic demand. But for stuff we all need, like milk, people will probably keep buying it even if the price creeps up. That's inelastic demand. Figuring out which bucket your product falls into, well, that tells you how much power you really have when it comes to pricing. So once you've got a handle on customer value and demand, it's time to face your costs. And that brings us to the break-even analysis. Now, don't just think of this as some formula from a textbook. Think of it as your survival number. It tells you exactly how much you need to sell just to cover all your costs and finally stop losing money. And this graph, it perfectly illustrates that moment of truth. You see that total cost line going up and the sales revenue line climbing right along with it? That exact point where they cross? That's it. That's your break-even point. And the best part? Every single sale you make after that is pure profit. It's the light at the end of the startup tunnel, for sure. Okay, so you've set your price, you know your break-even point. Fantastic. Now for the next big stage. How in the world do you get the word out and actually find the people who are going to buy your stuff? Here's the thing, reaching your audience is never about doing just one thing. It takes what we call a smart promotional mix, basically a blend of different strategies. You've got your advertising, your social media, maybe even some personal selling, and it all has to work together to send one clear message that really connects with the right people. So a huge decision here is, how much do you actually spend on all this? Most business owners use one of these 4 methods. Now, the first 3 are super common, but the most strategic approach by far is the last one, spending what's needed to hit your goals. And why is that? Because it forces you to think about growth from the get-go, tying your budget directly to your ambitions instead of just reacting to what you sold last month or what your competitors are doing. And of course, in today's world, promotion is all about digital. Having a professional website, making sure people can find you on Google through SEO, and building a real community on social media, these aren't just nice-to-haves anymore. They are the absolute essentials for any modern business, period. Okay, let's fast forward a bit. Your pricing is working, your marketing is bringing in customers, business is good. So, what's next? For a lot of entrepreneurs, the answer is looking around and realizing there is a whole world of customers out there just waiting. And don't for a second think that going global is only for the giant mega corporations. I mean, look at this map. Entrepreneurial energy is everywhere. In fact, small businesses are responsible for almost a third of all exports. The opportunity out there is just massive. And the reasons to go global, they're incredibly powerful. Just think about this. Over 95% of the entire world's population lives outside the US. Going international means you can tap into that huge market, get access to new talent and resources, and, potentially cut your costs in a big, big way. This whole trend is really powered by what we call globalization. Tastes around the world are becoming more similar, trade barriers are coming down, and because of that, it has literally never been easier for even the smallest companies to be born global and start serving international customers from day one. But let's be real, this journey isn't always a walk in the park. This map is kind of a reality check. It shows the ease of doing business around the world. The green areas, least challenging. The red ones, the most. Things like political risk, weird local rules, and just plain old bureaucracy can make some countries way harder to break into than others. And that brings us to our final stage. And you know what? It might just be the hardest one of all. As your company grows, the biggest challenge often isn't the market outside, it's managing the machine you've built inside. And that means your role as a founder has to completely, fundamentally change. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? The hands-on, do-it-all-yourself skills that got your business off the ground, they are not the same skills you need to make it grow. You have to make this shift from being the main doer to becoming a leader who manages other doers. So, what does that look like? It means moving from being a player coach, where you're still on the field, in the trenches, making plays, to leading a formal organization. And that means building a real business with structure, with processes, with layers of management. Believe me, it is a huge mental shift. This chart just lays out that evolution perfectly. You start out at stage 1, a one-person show doing everything. Then you become that player coach in stage 2. And by the time you get to stage 4, you're at the very top of a formal organization. Just look at how the structure and the complexity build up with every single step. So, how do you actually get to stage 4? Well, the answer is all about mastering delegation. And it's a process, right? It starts with just admitting you can't do it all yourself. It means hiring people you trust. And then, and this is key, investing your time to coach them so they can succeed on their own. Honestly, making this leap is what separates a founder who just built themselves a job from an entrepreneur who built a company that will last. So many founders fail right at this stage because they just can't let go. But learning to embrace professional management, it's absolutely essential for any kind of long-term growth. So, there you have it. From figuring out that very first price and finding your audience, all the way to scaling across the globe and becoming a true leader. The entrepreneurial journey is complex, it's demanding, and it's incredibly rewarding. The only question left is, which path will you choose?